Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of DB's Comic Talk. This is Don from the KF Podcast. Coming at you today with a review of a book that's very controversial. A lot of people talking about it. You know, I've been a Batman fan for 40 years now, probably. And I never thought we would get to the point where I'd have to see Batman's penis in a comic book. But apparently DC felt the need to show us. I don't know why. So we're going to review this book called Batman Damned. So Batman Damned is a part of this new label called DC Black Label. Black Label, this is the first book to come out in this, of this new label. This is going to be sort of a mature line of comic books, something for a mature reader with different stories. None of these stories are going to be in the regular DC continuum. They're supposed to take place sort of like an Elseworlds or something different, a what if sort of context. It's just a different story. So you forget everything you know about what's going on in a current Batman book you're reading. And this is focused on this. So the first one that's going to be coming out for this is Batman Damned. The book itself, and I'm showing you on the screen here, it's big. It's not like your regular comic. It's large. It's really nice. I mean, the pages in it are really nice. The coloring, the artwork in it is beautiful. Brock from our show brought up a good point that maybe they made it look different like this so you would understand the difference in parenting. You know, if you're a parent, your kids are buying books, you know that the big book is the Black Label book. It stands out more. That's going to have the mature content in it. It has swearing in it. It has nudity in it. Batman's penis, but we'll get to that. So maybe that's the difference in it. It's kind of annoying because it's not going to fit in your regular comic book box, but in regular bags, but I actually kind of like it. It's a different read. There's no ads in it at all. It's just a full book. It's $7, a little pricey, but they're not going to be coming out all the time. I mean, this one's, I think, 3 issues, for the next 3 months. But I like it. I like the general book of it. So the general story of it, before we get to the graphic nature in it, is you have Batman. He wakes up. He's all cut and bruised. He wakes up sort of in an ambulance. And he's all delirious. It looks like he's been shot and beat and cut. I mean, he really is in bad shape. And he sort of goes on this... he escapes from the ambulance. He's running around. He's trying to find out, some safety. And you're going through all this different focus with him through a narrator. The narrator is John Constantine. Because Constantine finds Batman in an alley. He's all beat up. He brings him to his house, and one of the cool things is he has Deadman, who's sort of hanging out in the back with him, and he's talking to him about, I want to know where you were last night, and the thing you realize is that he completely, probably through magic, healed Batman. Batman has no scars on him or bullet holes or anything, so he's healed. But what he wants to ask him is where he was and what he was doing, because you reveal through the news that the Joker's been killed. He's been found in the river. They don't really say, I think, how he was killed, but he was killed, and most people are genuinely happy about it, that he was killed. His reign of terror is over, but Batman's pretty stunned by it, so is Constantine. And then it sort of goes into just, Commissioner Gordon's view of it. I think we get an appearance, I think this might be Zatanna, who's, doing tricks, and Bruce is in hiding, trying to get some information from what's going on in the streets. And it's very dark and scary in aspects. There's a supernatural element to this. Bruce is seeing this young girl the entire time he's having these hallucinations. And she's kind of I can't really describe what she looks like. I'm putting her picture on the screen now. I mean, dark, twisted. She has a bat in her hand. She's covered in blood. She's got black stuff all over her. So this is more of a supernatural aspect story of Gotham. And it looks cool. I mean, I think he's going to go along this progression of trying to figure out who killed the Joker, and what this demonic side to it is. And they're flashing back to his childhood and seeing some traumatic experiences that he had. I'm not really sure the timeline, if that's post his parents' death or after it. So that was the same thing. But anyway, so it's cool. It looks good. It's going to be a nice story. It's a different read. I like it. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or AKA the penis in the room. So the big thing that they got into this was that there's going to be mature content in here, which everybody knew. So I was expecting some violence, some death, whatever. Probably some swearing. Would they throw in some sex? Maybe, a Batman, Catwoman type thing. I wasn't expect the first reveal of mature content, before an F word's even dropped, to be Batman's penis. I don't understand where they're going, why it needs to be shown. And not only is it shown once, but it's shown multiple times throughout this book. There's at least 4 scenes where you see it. There's a scene where they're looking down on him sitting, and easily they could have shadowed it, but it's just there. And I don't understand. I mean, these are good writers and good artists. Like, it doesn't add anything to this book. It doesn't make it more adult, or doesn't make it more, like, shocking. They said, when he gets out of the Batmobile, the scene, I read that the writer said, he disrobes because he has bloody clothes on and everything, and he's sort of in shock because he was, like, brought back to life by Constantine. So he's just taking his clothes off and he's walking. Well, I understand that, but like the image I'm showing you now on the screen, there's no reason they couldn't have just blacked it out. Batman and other characters have been partially naked and nude in comics before. Superman's awoken with no clothes on. They never had to show it. There's no need for having it peeking out of the shadow like they're doing. It's just to get people talking about it. Which, look, I'm doing a show about it. Other people are talking about it. It's working, but it's kind of gross. Like, I just didn't need to see it. I didn't need to see my childhood favorite comic book character, Batman. It's always been him. I didn't need to see his penis. It just wasn't entertaining. I don't know. It could easily been blocked out. I guess if you don't want to see it, read the digital version of it because they don't show it. But, I like to buy the books. I'm not a digital guy, so I don't know. Where they're going to go with this, I don't know what else. I don't know if we're going to see more male genitalia as we go on, but I'm not being sexist or anything here. I don't want to see any of it in my book. I understand it. Like, I don't let my kids, they may pick this up and look at it and, like, maybe they'll see an F word. Fine. But I don't want my kids to see that. I don't want them to see a boob or anything when they're reading that, male or women. Like, these are comics. I like to be able to have my comics laying around. And if there's an adult theme in it, like, I know I have to be responsible to not have that out, but, like, it's just a penis on the screen for no reason to be there. Like, it's just so misplaced and odd that I don't understand what it was. But again, it's probably just to sell books, and I guess it's working. But to me, hopefully they move on past that, and we don't have to see any more of that, because the book is actually pretty good. So DC Black Label, what else did I got coming out here? Moving forward, there's going to be 3 issues of Batman Damned, so that'll be good. We'll see how that wraps up. Then Frank Miller's doing a Superman Year 1, which could be interesting. I'm not a big Frank Miller guy, but, John Romita Jr. is the artist. Probably check it out. Then there's a 7-part one. They haven't announced it yet when it's coming out, called The Other History of the DC Universe. That sounds interesting to me. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but that could get into all different little corners of the DC Universe of characters maybe they don't normally talk about. That I'm excited about. Batman The Last Night on Earth, another sort of Batman, maybe it's like, end of the world type story. I don't know. That one, though, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, that interests me just from the writing and artist team. So I will for sure check those 3 out. And then finally, Jeff Johns doing Batman 3 Jokers. I can't wait for this. I've been excited about the 3 Joker thing since all the events of Rebirth. And before that, so I can't wait for those 3. I hope they're in this large format and this Black Label format. That will be an excellent read. We will definitely talk about those going forward. So look forward to those coming out. It should be cool. If you want, I suggest you get this book and try it out and read it. If you don't want to see Batman penis, read it online. It's much better. You don't have to look at any of that. Again, I don't understand why, but so be it. It's not the worst thing. I'm sure they're going to keep testing the waters going forward anyway. So there you go. That's Batman Damned, DC Black Label, Book 1. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool book. Go check it out. And as always, listen to us on SoundCloud. Check us out everywhere else. We appreciate it. Talk to you later, everybody.